Hi, my name is Greg Dean. I work with Hammer & Hand. I'm a project lead, and we just are finishing our last day here at Urban Animal when they open tomorrow. It's a veterinary clinic in Seattle, Washington, and a tenant improvement for a full medical facility for animals here, including surgery center, treatment, exam rooms. It's a 2,200 square foot space, and the real challenge of this job was a time frame. We have roughly 8 weeks to complete the project in, and so with a combination of overtime and very tight scheduling and really good logistical management, we're able to pull off a whole new space in what was formerly a physical therapy office. So in the process of doing the job, the original space was all standard commercial construction, carpeted floors, partition walls, and all of that had to be removed from the space. So everything you see within this space has been totally taken down to stud and rebuilt back up. The design team was fantastic on this job and provided us with a lot of tremendously interesting materials to work with and challenging to get installed in that time frame. Obviously, you can see down behind me, the hallway, we have a variety of materials on the walls, including P-lam walls, which have a lot of bright color accents through the units, and a standard sheetrock backing for all the walls painted. This piece of material here is called Tectum wall tile, which is an acoustical tile generally applied in gymnasiums, schools, recording studios. Here it's applied for architectural detail and to take the kind of pingy sound out of the space, barking dogs and animals under treatment. So to help assist with the rest of the building for insulating that sound value, which is a very important piece of this project. So we've installed this up through the walls, milled on site and chamfered to give this architectural details called out by GGLO Architects, the designer on the job, and Sarah Littlefield, the interior designer. And then we've gone and applied to the wall here over a 1/4-inch shim, which is then painted behind so you can't see the details through, in what is somewhat of a rain screen pattern typically seen on outside of buildings. And it's all salvage material through the job. This is old pallet wood for packaging garage doors that came from Cressy Door. And then we've capped all that with a nice finished hardwood mahogany throughout the front entrance of the building and exposed all the structural details of the building. So as I step down here, you probably see up above me that we've exposed all this piping and the general bond beams and the concrete ceilings, painted all of those and finished them, including other salvage materials like the window at the end of the hall. And we'll step into the first exam room here to get an idea. Each exam room's the same, change in color in the P-lam, and then a custom wallpaper application, again designed by Sarah Littlefield, which is just a stick-up resolution. These are printed out on a large print format and then applied to the wall with a sticker on the back. It's a really pretty easy assembly, and it makes a really tremendous result. I think people will really enjoy who've walked through and taken a look at it. And then she's got a variety of vintage cabinetry and old medical equipment through the building, all installed in each exam room. And fold-down tables for the dogs to come in, or cats, or perhaps a bunny, who knows what they might get, but for exam rooms here. And then they fold back up on the wall. So we can walk back to the treatment center, which is down at the end of the hall here. Here we come in and we might take a quick look at the floor while we step out, which this is a micro topping on concrete, and that was a particularly difficult assembly. We had originally talked about using a ground concrete floor with a finish, but the quality of the floor was such that we had utility trenches cut in the floor and were unable to get a nice polished finish on that floor. So we came through, armor-clad flooring, installed this troweled finish, which seems to be pretty popular with everybody. In the public bath, which is probably a little underlit right now while the halogen comes on, but we've installed again another set of salvage wood on the walls, which was brought in by Sarah Littlefield, the interior designer, and a variety of just vintage fixtures through the bathroom. Still meeting ADA requirements for handlebars and all commercial construction, but definitely not typical wall assembly. So a lot of finish details had to go into the project in order for us to meet our time frame. And then we step through into treatment in the back, where rather than having a concrete floor, we've run a laminate floor throughout for cleaning. So it's a vinyl laminate floor. And we salvaged a lot of the material from the job. All the interior doors on the back of the project are all salvage doors from the original unit, and most of the door frames. So, and then we were able to salvage the original cabinets from the unit for here, which will be pharmacy, and over here, which will be the lab. And those worked out great. And then we purchased the remaining countertop and cabinetry material from IKEA and installed all of that. Here we've had custom cages built, and this is Cliff, one of our carpenters. He's installing them right now. These were made by Firelight Forge in Seattle, which is a custom architectural steel firm, and they're a great outfit, a small artistic welder. And then powder coated. They're roughly a 2-week assembly, and we're just getting them in here on the last day. And this is where they'll keep the dogs before treatment. When we step over the treatment, she has one vintage treatment table, which may be replaced by a modern wet table eventually in time to come. But this is a modern wet table unit, so you can put the dogs up on it, and or whatever animals, and be able to wash them and get them prepped for whatever kind of treatment they may be going through. There's a lot of specific details that go in with a medical clinic, including exam lighting, air. This is an oxygen sensor, and this is a venting valve for anesthesia that may be used through a gas like mask for the animals. So all the locating and dealing with subcontractors on these issues requires a lot of specific logistical engineering to get those things all in the right place. So a lot of work goes into that on our plans on all of that. And then we come back and we have one more room at the back of the center, which is our surgery center. Surgery has a lot of really specific equipment which comes into it. So obviously we have the large exam lights. These twist and turn in virtually any direction you could think of as far as to be able to light your surgery situation. And then obviously we have, again, oxygen coming to the room and scavenger venting for all the anesthesia systems. And this is one of the coolest pieces of equipment I think I've ever seen. This is an anesthesia unit. So the anesthesia is put in here. The breathing out for the animal goes through this chamber, which then collects the carbon dioxide and leftover anesthesia, and then pipes out through the scavenger vent, which is taken out through the building.